What's up, guys? We're back with All Ball Talk, another transfer portal video. Today, Miles Byrd, the San Diego State forward, commits to the newly Bryan Hodgson led Providence Friars. I think it's a great move. Before we get into it, I just want to say we have a free Discord. It's in the channel bio. Yeah, I'm trying to build a community there. It's completely free. If you just want to talk about sports, anything from like betting to really just a bunch of sports. And I'm just trying to build a community there for about a bunch of guys who just love to watch sports and love to talk sports. Again, it's completely free. Join if you want. Yeah, so let's get back to the video. So, Miles Byrd, he is one of the best defenders, probably behind Flory Badunga, probably the best perimeter defender in this entire, probably the best defender in this perimeter defender in this entire transfer class. I love what he brings, and I think he might have stayed at San Diego State a year too late. Like, I think he would have been amazing if he had transferred the year before. He would have gotten a big payday. He was kind of stagnant, kind of had the same year that he had the year before. But with Bryan Hodgson, like, as we saw at South Florida, he had athletes at South Florida, and they flew around the ball, like, played good defense, played fast. And we'll get to it later, but they brought in Dink Pay too. That's perfect. I love those moves for the Friars and Hodgson. Like, when he said that he recruits, when he said, "Look at if I can recruit, look at my wife," he wasn't wrong, man. He's got Miles Byrd, who was, I believe, his finalists were blue blood finalists. I mean, Kentucky was up there. I thought he was going to Kentucky when he came out in the portal, and Providence pays up, and I love the way that Providence has brought their NIL up by so much. Like, I just think this is an amazing. I just think this is an amazing, like, kind of move for Bryan Hodgson. I think that them upping their NIL can make Providence so competitive, because when Providence is good, man, their fans are unmatched. That place goes crazy, and Miles Byrd is a great athlete. He's not a great 3-point shooter, which it's a little bit of weakness, but I think if he can get guys around him that can shoot. If Miles Byrd just kind of this, great defender, he finishes at the rim, he cuts, you know what I mean? Kind of like that typical, I don't want to say dirty work guy, 'cause I think he's better than a dirty work guy, but a guy who just defends and he scores when he needs to, kind of scores when he's available. I think it'd be great for him. He's a super talented player, and Bryan Hodgson, it's a great move for him. Just to get an athlete in the building who he beat out a ton of blue bloods for this recruitment. And he's a super talented player who, I don't know, I remember if he tested draft waters last year, or he was in the transfer and he came back. But again, he's super talented. And this is just one of those guys that if Providence wants to be super competitive, that they are going to be in the upper echelon of the Big East. I mean, if so now that they have Miles Byrd and Dink Pate, I would say obviously St. John's, UConn, they're the clear-cut 1 and 2 in the Big East. They have the most money. They have the best teams, the best coaches. 100% 1 and 2. But then after that, you kind of get like, can Marquette come back? Providence can definitely come back. I would love to see Providence come back and make a run. And then we'll see, like, can Georgetown get back to that level? I don't think so. Maybe Butler with a new coach. I'm trying to think of another one. But really, like, Creighton, they were obviously really good for a number of years, and they kind of had a bad year in Greg McDermott's last year. Obviously, Owen Freeman, just a Hall of Fame money stealer, plays 10 minutes a game, averages like 4 points for $2 million. I mean, that sucks for Greg McDermott and Creighton, but that's what we live in the new NIL era. And the same thing could happen here with Bryan Hodgson and Miles Byrd, because Miles Byrd is not a scorer. But if you get the right pieces around him, like Dink Pate, who they just got, this is perfect. I love if they can get a guard who can score a ton and just get guys around Miles Byrd. And when Providence basketball, I think Bryan Hodgson is going to end up being a great coach. Clearly, I mean, he comes in, makes 2 splash commitments. I would love to see Providence be competitive again. And with Miles Byrd, this is one step closer to being an upper echelon Big East team. And I don't think they make a run at winning the league, but I think they can make a run. They could definitely get in the tournament. Like he's a very talented player who was sought after by a lot of big schools, and this is why I love it, because now Providence put money in. They can make these splash. I'm gonna say signings, really. That's because that's really what college basketball is now. And this is one step closer to Providence being competitive again. That's all I have. Stay tuned for more transfer portal updates. They're coming in daily. We're in the thick of it. Yeah, just continue to we're continue to be putting out content for this current era we're in. But yep, so we'll see you guys in the next one.